All right, I had a request to do a Frank Zappa song, a solo from a Frank Zappa song called Yo Mama from the Sheil Yerbouti album. I'm not going to do, per se, any of Frank Zappa's particular notes, but I'm going to show you what mode that is in, and I'm going to show you where those scales are, and you can make your own solos using what I'm going to show you. And it's going to involve basically a one-chord thing, like an E major, and it's going to be the E Mixolydian mode. So what we have here is a particular scale. We can start on that E right there. It's like a major scale, but the seventh note, instead of being a major 7 to the 8 there, to the root, it's a flat 7. So we have a D. So we have E, F sharp, G sharp, A, B, C sharp, D instead of D sharp, and E. That gives us the mode of Mixolydian. So that's the E Mixolydian scale. If we were to keep going, we'd come up here. So it really comes from this scale here. Which we know as the second mode of like G. So you get your G scales. So that one right there is the 2 of that key. So it's off the second note. That's the Dorian mode. So when we play this Dorian mode, it's also the E Mixolydian mode if we play off of that E. And that Dorian mode of the second note of the scale puts us in the key of A. So we're really in the key of A, but never do we hit an A chord in this. We're going to hit like an E chord. And then I'm going to go to a D chord with an E bass. So that's those 7s on the D, G, and B string. Back to E. I'm muting that A string. So we just hear the D with the E bass. So it's good just like from here, from this E. You want to have a whole octave to work with to start on an E there. Now here's this next kind of very useful position. So you got your 9, 11 on the G, and then 9, 10, 12, 9, 10, 12. That also gets you a whole octave of that E Mixolydian scale. Then you got down here. So it's good to know all the positions. Think about down here if we had the open. Open 2, 4, open 2, 4, open 2, 4 again. 1 and 2, open 2, 3, open 2, 4, 5. Because remember, it's like an E major scale. So you got E, F sharp, G sharp, A. When we go back, we got the D. We got the flat 7, C sharp, B, A, G sharp, F sharp, E. So. And it's good to do these exercises. Etc. in like thirds. So you want to get all those different positions. So for instance, this next one. Okay, that takes us into like the first position. Remember, we're in A major, so that was the A major first position. B Dorian second. Third position of A. And this has got our notes up high. So it's like a major type of a thing, like a major pentatonic lick you could do. But when you want the rest of the notes of the mode, okay. It's also like an E major pentatonic up here. another E to start your Mixolydian mode. Here's another E. So it's good to know these wherever you can find them. And think about your major pentatonic licks too. Like B.B.Box. You got that flat 7. So the Mixolydian mode is the 5th note of a scale. So the 5th note of A is that 5 chord. It's also like a dominant. So that's why this mode is like a dominant. It's like a major, but it's got that flat 7 from a dominant 7 chord. So a dominant 7 chord mixes major and minor, and so does this Mixolydian mode. There's your minor element. Your minor element right there. So when we're doing this first progression, I'm going to have a tape now. I'm going to play behind this tape and give you some ideas, and you can play along with me here and solo out. But what we're going to do is we're going to start with this. We got an E chord to start, and then we're doing that D with the E bass. That's going to be our first progression. And then later in the song of Yo Mama by Frank Zappa, he's going to go into E. Then he's going to go to B minor. So what happens here is we have certain notes. As you can see, these 9s up in here. Those 9s are real important because they're in that chord right then. Now this is kind of like when we flip to that D with the E bass, but we also have the B very heavy in here. So we have some of the notes from that D chord, but we also have that B in there. So this is where you could get into like the arpeggio of the B minor 7, the arpeggio of the E dominant 7 as well, over those specific different chord changes. So we definitely have different notes to lean on. See that? B, D, and F sharp here. Whereas the notes we leaned on over here are B, E, and G sharp. Okay, so let's do a little jamming. So we're sticking on the E. There goes that D. That's part of a D chord there too. That's part of an E chord, that B note. Here we bring in that B minor. That was a good D note, part of a B minor chord, and there's a B right there. So the D note is a good one for the B minor chord tone. See that G sharp right there, part of a E major triad. Sharp. There's that D. E triad. And that was a B minor 7 kind of a triad. Arpeggio. E dominant 7 arpeggio. Look at the B minor 7 arpeggio.